What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ro Timmy, man. Shout out to the lunch table, man. I'm rocking with y'all. Yeah.
Hey man, it's your boy Pan B Rock. Right now, you rocking with the lunch table the real way.
Oh, yeah.
What up, man? YBS Scholar checking in with the lunch table. You dig? If you don't eat, you die in the street. I'm chilling with the lunch table right now, man.
I'm in search of food. If truth hurts, would you rather be hurt or fooled? Long as it's purposeful, it's never hard to find. With all this noise, I just pray that these thoughts of mine. What's your experience? And the things that have shaped you, I dare you to ask yourself, what do you bring to the table?
So
And that's
let's
real.
talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Discussing different plans to make all you understand we at the No matter who you are, just taking this food for thought, we at the lunch table.
They BJ the Virgo.
What's up and welcome to the lunch table. Today we have two very special guests. We have two virgins, right? Two virgins. So, what's your name? Jordan. Hey boy.
Sorry.
What's your name?
Sam.
Sam, okay. So, both of these young ladies, both of these beautiful young ladies have made it through college and high school as virgins, correct?
Correct.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
21.
I'm 23.
23. That is awesome. First of all, I just want to commend you all. That is awesome. You all have done something that a lot of people could not do or have tried to do but failed at. You all do it. So, why did you all decide to, be virgins for this long? Like, what is your reason for doing it?
For me, it was a triggering event. I hadn't decided when I got to high school that I would wait. But because I'm such a detail-oriented, inquisitive person, whenever it would come up, I'm like, but how we do that? What about your parents? And stuff like that would come up. But when I got close to it, I realized I'm not ready for the emotional trauma that comes with it.
What type of emotional trauma? Like, what do you mean?
You can give it away to somebody and it not work out. And so they have a piece of you. And you kind of have to learn how to cope and live beyond that experience. Either you just stop doing it altogether, or you keep doing it trying to fill that void that's been taken from you.
Right.
So I wasn't ready to deal with that. I really wasn't ready, so I committed to not doing it, and hearing the stories of my friends and what happened with them. It was just like, this is not appealing at all.
No,
and thank you for strengthening my resolve.
Mine was there's religious reasons more so, but my dad gave us, me and my sister, a promise ring when we were 16, and just kind of understanding that, and my dad's a really big part of my life, and so if for me, you just don't have boys at the house. I don't know how it is for your family, but you just don't have boys at the house. That's just not a thing.
Hey, that fathers, get the ring. Get the ring immediately.
And so, when he gave me that, I was just taking it seriously. What does this actually mean? How you said, you give a piece of of yourself to somebody else that you can never get back. You don't know how it's gonna last. And I've seen my friends as well go through things I don't know how I would go through a breakup if I gave that piece of somebody. I would be distraught.
Seriously.
So I just don't know how people.
So I know you've all probably had your times where things were more difficult than others. How did you get past that time when it was oh my gosh, it's getting kind of hot in here? How do you break that, or what happened in your mind that made you break it?
I mean, for me, whenever that situation kind of happened, it's basically all in the mind, self-control. I already know when I go in there, this is what's not happening, this is what could happen. I already
So it's
know
a mindset, it's a game plan. This is what
this is
going.
If anything else happens, I'm out. That's what it is.
Okay, just setting the standard before you even go into the situation. That makes sense.
You tell them up front, and if it's ever been close, we've been in a relationship, and so you know where I stand, and you know that that's not gonna happen, and so if you feel it's cute because at first they're oh, I respect that, I like that,
I mean, it's different. It's different.
Right, but then they think that they're the one that's gonna change
Yes!
that,
And
it's
it doesn't happen.
No, you're not gonna change that, and it's the funny part because they're just gung ho, and then to see them be another person, they be I still don't know why we're not doing it. Don't you love me? Stupid stuff like that. But knowing up front this is not where we're going, and so heated moments are in your mind, you gotta be like, all right, well, this is where we stop. And honestly, I let dudes go as long as they can. If you think you can hold out with me, sure, let's rock it out. But if you're ready to go, that's cool too.
So do you think that's hindered some of your relationships before, like not having sex with them?
Oh yeah.
I think it had a lot to do with age and maturity. Just because mostly people are doing it and they don't have convictions about it, you know?
Right.
So it's just like, to be in a situation where you're not going to do it, you're not going to compromise on it, you reach like these ceilings in your relationship.
Yeah.
Wow.
You really do.
Wow.
You really do.
So like what kind of things like would you tell them? Like how would you go about doing it if, you know, it's harder? Like do you just break up or? That's hard. I mean, it's hard. Like it gets to the point. Everybody knows that. It gets to the point where, you know, like you all are so feeling each other so much, and you're gonna want to express your feelings in different ways. And most people, you know, express their feelings in that way. So like, how did you all overcome that, or did you just, you know, say we gotta break up, or you know?
Being in relationships with boundaries is better in those situations when it comes to having a conversation like, we're not going to be able to do this, we can't go further, because it's really going to become an issue. Especially if they articulate it and you say no once. It may go away for a little bit, but then it'll come back. And it'll go away, and so eventually you're just kind of like, yeah, we just can't go forward. But if you let your guard down, when I've let my guard down in other situations, around sex, the act of sex anyway, it's been hard to cut it off. Because like we've already crossed some lines, but we just can't cross this line, and I have to now break up with you. So.
Wow.
I mean, I've been in both, where it's been a mutual understanding where it's like, we're not going to go push that boundary. Whereas like, we get to a certain point, he knows that's it. And it's kind of like, what I think has made that relationship last so long is because we were more emotionally connected versus just physically. And like, it was completely different than like any relation that I've had, any relation that he's had. And like, that was kind of like what made it stay for as long as it did.
So do you think sex like hinders relationships at all? Like,
I think it plays a big part in it.
Wow.
And it's really mitigated, or it's made to be not such a big deal, but it's a huge deal. You are, and like you said, in religious beliefs, in my faith, it's you are tying your soul to another person. And so it's much more than just the physicality of the moment, the pleasure of the moment, but it's so much deeper. And then like way before we had paper weddings and the state and stuff like that, you consummate a marriage through sex. That is how you are married.
Wow.
And so God, and you guys of God, you're married. And so you're walking around married to so many people because you had sex with them.
Wow.
And then add on who they've had sex with. And so it's such a, it's such a huge deal that no, but seriously, it's such a huge deal. And when you make that decision, you really have to think through it. And you cannot make the decision when you're in the heat. You're not going to be able to make it. You have to make a decision prior to, so that you can enforce that decision when it comes down to it.
Shit, you feel like.
So this is from like my friend's perspective. They won't end a relationship because the sex is good. Even though it's hindering in other parts of the relationship. Yeah. And it's just like, he talks down to you, he does this and that, but it's so, and I'm like, is it? Like, is it? Like,
no,
okay.
Wow. It's the idea that sex is intimacy. And they're two separate ideas in general. Intimacy is being vulnerable with a person, not necessarily physically, but being vulnerable, saying those things that everybody doesn't know, having a personal connection, and then more. Sex will think, oh, I have an intimate connection with someone, but it's intimate, but it's not what people think it is. It's not like an emotional connection. It's not a friendship. It's not, a foundation. Like if your foundation of your relationship is sex, then you're like building a house upside down. Like it's just not gonna.
Wow, that's deep.
I also think it's like, I don't know how it is for you, but like being a virgin is like, I'm looking for different other things than you can give me sex, he can also give me sex, and he can also give me sex too. But like, what kind of conversations can you have? Like, how are you mentally stimulating me?
Seriously.
Versus, and like, what can we connect with on that level versus just like getting in my pants?
Okay. So what advice would you give like a virgin now that's struggling and that has a boyfriend, that's like kind of pushing her towards doing it? What kind of things would you want to tell them right now, him or her?
Make your boundaries and don't like make that promise to yourself and don't cross them, because in a year from now, you might not be with that person. You're going to be so happy that you stayed to yourself.
I'd also say, if you're not in a faith, do it for you. So if in a faith, do it for God. If you're not in a faith, do it for you, because you're the one that lives with those consequences. The world will tell you, oh, don't worry about it, you can get it from somewhere else, or don't worry about it, it's not such a big deal. But you're the one who goes home at night and has to deal with the decision you made, and has the flashbacks, and has to do and put yourself back together. So I would say do it for your well-being, your mental state, your heart's condition, your emotional health.
Like I said, save it for your husband, so you can say that I didn't give this to anybody else. Like, I gave it to you.
And the other thing is, people think virgins don't want sex, and that's not it. It's just we know when and where it's appropriate. So it's not even like we walking around asexual and like the deed is like no, it's not.
We don't want any of this.
Before asexual, I'm like,
it's not. What? No, we have full functioning bodies.
You all have desires too, just like the normal person, but you
it's
all
just
know
like,
what to. Okay.
This isn't something you make on an impulse.
I just
This
know
is
who I
something
want to
you
give it to.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Wow. And these are two attractive young ladies. These aren't some like, joints you just drag from it. Like, these are like some two beautiful ladies. So it is possible out there, ladies, gentlemen, to keep it as long as you want to. Keep it that special with someone. Keep it for marriage, whatever your purpose is of having it. Keep it. It's sacred. Do what you gotta do. But thank you so much for tuning in. Ladies, checking out. See y'all next video, man.
No matter who you are, just taking this food for thought, we at the lunch table.
They be J the Verb.